Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So from my screen you should be able to see that this is going to be a banger. I'm going to be breaking down how I created this shot. As you can see, let me just play it for you guys.
Comes to an end. Good night.
For she was just a
Yeah, you can see me on a piece of land in the sky. I'm going to be breaking down how I created this. So stick around and make sure you subscribe with me before you start watching the video. Yes, please do that. Very necessary. Thank you. And as you have subscribed, let's proceed. Let's go into Blender where the magic happens. So this is my thing, and it's just a breakdown I'm going to be giving you guys. I think I've figured out how I'll be doing this now. So I'll give like an overview breakdown, then I may just give like some small tutorials on how to do some certain things, but not like how to create the whole stuff generally. Then I think so you can check the timestamps in case you may find something useful from how I created some of these things. But to do like a whole tutorial, say step by step creating all those stuff, that's not going to be possible. So I'm just going to walk you through and show you how I created something. So let's begin. Let me hide everything and let's come one by one. So firstly, I did like a block out of my thing. Making sure that I know everything that wants to be there. This idea of me on a piece of land in the sky was actually, I don't know if you guys have seen Avatar, the floating mountain. Yeah, if I can get like a reference, and I'll just put it in the edit. So the floating mountain, how it was, that was like the piece of idea. So I said I had to create something like that, but this was kind of like hanging garden, you understand, that kind of vibe. So simply that. So I knew I wanted like a main tree in the middle and then me on a piece of land. The idea was me vibing to a jam while I'm just sitting on this piece of land that is floating in the sky. Some kind of like divine thing that just give you peace of mind. So firstly, I made sure I blocked my scene out. I think, yeah, this was something I started doing fairly recent as I entered more and more into environments in 3D, because I used to wonder like what's the point. But now, yeah, you need to know how everything is looking in every step. Like instead of doing one thing then detailing it, like I say, instead of creating the tree, then I come and create the mountain itself or the mainland itself, then I come and create something else. No, you just like you take everything in step by step. So everything in low poly, then as it goes. So back to the main point. First of all, you block your scene out, which is very important. Then from there I started adding assets. As you can see, this is gotten from Botaniq. It's an add-on from the Polygonic family. So most of what you see here, I didn't model them or I didn't create them. They are just assets from Botaniq. You can choose trees and everything. You can even see the size references. This add-on is very, 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 very fantastic add-on. So Botaniq, that's what I use mainly for most of, in fact, for nearly the whole scene was Botaniq. So the Botaniq add-on, I use it to add the tree from the low poly. You can see, I'm just enable the low poly. Then you can see the tree that I added, and the materials on Botaniq are really good. You should get the add-on. They are not a sponsor, but get the add-on. It's really nice. Please don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Thank you. So after that, for the mountain or the main island itself, what I did was this low poly version of the island. When I say island, I'm talking about this lower piece that is floating. The low poly version of this I added some subdivision, and then I took it into Blender sculpting and then just roughed it around so that to get this kind of mountain vibes. It doesn't have to be detailed or anything. Just make it look like something that is not, that doesn't look like something. Make it look like something that doesn't look like anything. I don't know how to explain it. Just make it look weird, so it look like something that came out of nature. So that's how I created this. Then on top of this, there are just different particle system of grass on top of them. That's how I created the grasses on the floor. A different particle system of grass on top of the sculpted mountain. Just adding different assets upon different assets. It's crazy. So if I go to the particle system, you can see how much particles they are. Mushrooms, I even added mushrooms, all the grass, everything. If I start hiding them, oh my god. Let me hide them and see. Let's hide them and see. Yeah. So this is mainly the mountain itself. You can see. Just sculpted roughly, shaded smooth and everything. What gives it that vibe is just the whole assets added to it, the grasses and everything. You add grass, you weight paint it into different sections. So let me just give an example. So this grass here, I don't know the name. European medal. God help me. I'm an African child, not European. So simply what I did, as I added it, they go into weight paint, and then you can paint exactly where you want the grass to be. If you go into the weight paint mode, yeah, you can see this paint is for this. It's for this European grass, just in specific place. So I painted different grasses on different places using particles, hair particles. We just painted different grasses on the mountain, and that's how we have all this. Everything just comes together, just a ball of different assets. Very amazing. So that's technically how we have most of everything here. That's technically how we have most of everything here. Weight painted assets on different portions. The tree from Botaniq. Then these vines are seen coming out of the tree, because someone asked me if I created the tree, because he was like, these vines, they are like, they look customized. These vines, they are still from Botaniq, the vines. So I just hand place them individually. Each vine, as you can see, each vine hand placed in different sections of the tree to give it that Garden of Eden vibes. That's what I was going for. And also the same happens here. The vines hand placed. A lot of assets come together to make this a very beautiful piece. So other than that, I added some other things like rocks. This was a very huge part. This was like what brought it to life, because if a piece of land is uprooted from the ground, obviously we're going to see like some bare rocks, and these vines to also help. I'm going to see like some inner vines from the earth. If I wanted to take it a step further, I could have like added like some roots. I think I did just few, but like I would have added some like intersecting with the rocks and stuff like that. That would have made it real beautiful. So let's just go into the rendered mode, or viewport render mode, whatever, and see how it's looking. You can see just combination of assets. You don't even really need to know much. You just need to have good composition skills, basics of art 101, composition, how to bring things together and all. And then you can be able to have this very beautiful scene. I love it. And it doesn't work from the back as much, though, because there are no rocks there. So Everything is just from the camera view because I know the angle in which I'm going for. I know what this is for. So that's a tip. Don't just model the whole thing because except you're like in a real visual effects pipeline and then someone says, oh, I'm going to be able to see here, 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 and here, here. So each and every one of those places have to be modeled well. Apart from that, everything is good to go. Then another thing I want to show you guys, apart from the mountain in the scene, we can see clouds, we can see birds, I can see myself. I'm not good. Well, that's not what we're here for. We're just talking about how this scene was created. I'm not going to be telling you guys how I did myself. That's just very easy. Film yourself on a green screen, kill yourself, image as plain, import it into Blender, and that's just all. So for the bird and the clouds, that's what we're going to now. You can see I'm taking it pretty fast. I don't want to waste time. So don't waste my time too. Subscribe. I can't just be talking. And if people are not helping me out. So for the clouds, I'm going to be showing you guys how I created these clouds. Yes, it's going to be like a short tutorial inside this big preview. So let's go there. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create clouds in Blender. So let's just delete the cube, the default cube, although we're still going to bring it back. I don't know. Every since I was learning Blender, from when I started learning Blender till now, every material I've seen online about how to do anything in Blender, they just delete the initial default cube for reasons very unknown to me. So I just followed the trend. So let's scale it on the y-axis. Let's give it some body, and on the x-axis, because yeah, let's give it some body. So essentially what I'm going to do to create this cloud, let me just give you like an overview before we get into the work. I'm going to use displacement. I'm going to add some subdivision, then displace it so that it goes in and out like a cloud. Then I'm just going to do I'm going to move the vertices in a specific way for like customization. Then the shading, I'm going to add volume, principled volume, and that's just basically how to create clouds. So let's begin. After I've scaled the cube, I go into my modifiers. Let me add a subdivision surface first, increase it to 4, whatever. Apply, because we need those vertices applied. We need them to be part of the mesh. Then we're going to displace it. Displace, yes. Add a displace modifier. Create a new texture. Then go into your texture properties, as it is called. Then let's add a cloud texture. Funny, cloud texture for creating a cloud. So you can see the displacement is too much. So let's go back to our modifier. Let's reduce the strength a little bit. Let's see. Let's just adjust some parameters and see what we're getting. Size, okay. Let's also reduce the size because we don't want it to be so much noisy. Yeah, that's what I use. So much displaced, so much noise. Noisy is better. One important thing while using modifiers and everything, always apply your scale. Yes, you can see how that made a very huge difference. Always apply your scale. Always. Never forget that. That's like something you should never ever forget. Always apply your scale. So with that, with the displacement and then the texture, let's shade this smooth. You can see how it's looking. It's already a cloud because let's go into edit mode and just add some customization. sorry, before we do that, I like the way it's looking already. There are some in and out points. I think, let me increase the strength a little bit. Okay, no, that's too much. It was better where it was. So apply this because I want this to be the geometry now. So let's go into the edit mode, and then with what's this called? Proportional editing. Yes. Silly me, how I don't know proportional editing. Blender Guru will be ashamed. So with proportional editing, you can just move some certain pieces, increase the size, like just make it look like something a cloud would do. I don't know. Look outside your window. You know what clouds can do. Just make it look weird. You know, clouds form different kind of shapes. Make it look weird. Use proportional editing, edit some stuff. You can see like this now. This is very beautiful. This is a beautiful cloud. So let's go into our shading tab and then give this bad boy some nice shading. I'm going to be using volumes because why not? So to see volumes better, we're going to be switching to cycles mode to see the volumes better. So let's add a texture to it. Delete the principal texture. Please don't forget that. Delete that shit because we're going to be using a principled volume shader. Principled volume, yes. Plug it into your volume output, and then you can already see something is happening. If I zoom in, how do I remove this guy? Okay, yeah. So you can already see something is happening. It's already looking like a piece of cloud, but it's not bright enough. So let's make some adjustments. Make it bright. You can increase the color. You can make it bright. Then density. This is where the real magic happens. Density is like how much, should I say how much volume it is, how thick the volume is going to be. That's what your density necessarily affects. And once I increase the density, you can see this looking amazing. Let's increase the strength because this is going to be in the sky. So we can reduce the density a little bit. You can see. This is awesome. This is generally a cloud. Nobody can tell you shit. You can make it less visible. You know, there's some clouds that can be like this. Not that detailed. Why? When the storm is about to pour down, you know, those clouds are going to be looking thick. Thick. Imagine those clouds are going to be looking thick. Yes. So generally, you just have to create clouds with volumes. Just your cube displaced, then you can move the geometry up and down, and then just add the principal volume, and you're all good to go. It's even fast in rendering. So after creating the clouds, as I've shown you, all I did was now to duplicate it, customize it, and then spread it as far back as possible. You can see different kinds of clouds. Amazing stuff. In the rendered view, with the newly created clouds, so you can get high in the sky. You can see with the clouds, yeah, see how beautiful they look. See how awesome they look in the sky. Yeah. As you can see how they look. Just looks natural. It looks there. See the clouds. It looks like something that really exists in the scene. That's how it's meant to be. And this scene is in the sky, so it's so bright. So after the clouds, let's go to how the sky was created, which is very easy. It was done in Blender. for the sky, let's hide the clouds because things are starting to choke. First, let's hide everything. Let's just focus on the sky. For the sky, this is just a simple sky texture. Let's go to our material preview, change it from object to world. And then you can see the Blender sky texture. Yeah. That's just essentially what this is. Then adjust the parameters to your liking. I actually like have a problem on why there is a dark spot towards the floor. But I think this guy works like relatively to your view, to your camera. So like regardless, even if I carry the camera up toward in the sky, this dark ground is still going to be the same distance even when it's down. So the sky texture, I don't know, but this dark ground, like I don't know whether it's to simulate like the end of Earth, but I really had a problem fitting my scene. But everything worked out, sure. But this dark ground gave me a problem. So for the sky, just simply blend that sky texture with my clouds, and that's how we have that beautiful scenery. Blend that sky texture with my clouds, you can see, and it just looks like a natural sky, something you can find in the sky. No matter how short you are, you get out of your house, you see the sky, as words for our incoming president. So sky texture, volume clouds created by yourself, and that's how you have the sky. So I think I've said how I created basically everything. Yes, the mountain, the tree, and the sky. It's just very easy. When you start using add-ons, the newbies, when I was still starting up, I was like, I don't want to use add-ons, I don't want to use assets, and so on and so forth. It's cheating, the regular vibes. But if you are new into anything, it's better you learn the fundamentals before you can now, they say break the rules, but know the rules first before you can break them. You don't just want to break rules you don't know. Then what are you not breaking the rules for? Are you breaking them because you have a better way to do it, or you're breaking them because you don't know them? I don't know. Motivational speaking. So yeah, so essentially when you know how to do some things, then you can now start using this thing, because you never want to move, except each and every blade of grass is meant to be highly customized for something, which is impossible. That's when you want to start doing you created grass, go out and scan, do your own stuff. But apart from that, use add-ons, use assets, enjoy your life. Nobody came to this life to suffer. With all of that, you are good to go. That's just how the scene was created generally. So let's see it in the renders view one more time. I love this one. It's actually beautiful. It is beautiful. You can see. Just with those. Like saying it now, you just be like, it's something I can just do probably on that one day if you are good enough. But when fixing all this together, because this is already a complete package, so I know how it was fixed. I had to try this out, try this asset, this is not working, try this other one, rotate it, do this, do that, and all the position in the composition, that's what took most of the time. So that's just basically how the scene was created. And let me give you guys another bonus tutorial. Let's watch this again. As you can see, the grasses, the leaves are moving, and they are birds. I'm not going to show you people how I created those birds. Just forget about it. Except to subscribe. Please subscribe. If I see a valuable increment in subscription, then I'll show you how those birds were created. But for now, the last bonus I'll use to close this video. This is how I made the grasses move. Let's open a new Blender file. Let's go there. We're in a new Blender file. Let me show you how to animate the grass as if wind is blowing it. Apparently, I did this before, but my recording was paused. Quite unfortunate. So let's just delete the default cube, add a plane. Then with Botaniq add-on, buy it, very useful. Thank you very much. Botaniq, let's just add grass. Basic. Yeah, add grass. Then how I'm going to make this as if wind is blowing it. I'm going to simulate as if wind is blowing it. The main asset here, the main assets down, because when Botaniq imports, it's from a few assets, then a particle system on the plane. That's how the grass is gotten. So let's just bring the main asset up. I'm going to be adding a displacement modifier to the main asset to control it and make it look as if wind is blowing it. That's just essentially how I'm going to create the animation. So with the asset selected, let's add a displace modifier, add a texture, then go to your texture properties, change the texture to clouds, go back to your modifier, reduce the strength, because as you can see, the strength is too much. Yeah. Then we're going to be adding an empty to use to control this displacement modifier. So essentially, the empty is going to be spinning. It's going to have the animation to control the displacement to give the illusion of moving grass. So let's just do that quickly. Add an empty, bring the empty down towards the same level as the grass. Then in the displacement modifier, change the coordinate from local to object and then select your empty. So this empty is going to be, because let me just show you how it works. As I rotate it, the values of the displacement are going to be moving. So the displacement texture is going to be moving as it's rotating. So essentially, that's just how we're going to create the illusion of the grass moving with the empty rotating. And then, yeah, so let's do that. Let's add a keyframe. Then go to frame 20, rotate Y, add another keyframe. We want to change the interpolation to linear so that the animation starts in constant motion. Then Shift E and change the extrapolation to linear so that the animation continues forever and ever and ever and ever till Jesus comes. So with that, you can see we have some animated grass. Then we are just going to copy the modifiers into the rest of the grass. So select the rest of the grass. Make sure the grass in which you want to copy the modifier from is selected last. Then go to object, link, and copy modifiers. And that's just simply how we have animated grass. You can see how it's moving. To me, the strength is too much, but this is just to show you an overview. So with that's how we have animated grass as if wind is blowing it. A useful tutorial for you. So if you enjoyed it, please subscribe. And then with all of bada bing, bada boom, and bada bing bing, that's how we have this whole environment scene here. So let me just play it for you one more time as we say our goodbyes. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. So subscribe. And that's just essentially how this environment was created. Thank you very much. Until next time. My name remains Ifeanyi Arist.